no problem. So, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for inviting me with this very important panels. What you're doing here in China.
Hello, everyone. Okay, I represent Studio Volpi. Studio Volpi is a design studio from Italy, of course. We do engineering, design, and branding. And our company here in China has been around for 7 or 8 years, and we work a lot with Chinese partners, especially in the appliances and coffee machine market. So we work a lot with very big players in the market, and we have a very good knowledge of what the Chinese market wants in these terms. And the situation is running well, and I'm glad I was invited to this event for the 3rd year in a row, and I usually enjoy very much this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Flavia. Now, Mrs. Mu.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to join this panel discussion this afternoon. I was the general manager of Natuzzi Italian. I think I don't need to introduce Natuzzi so much, right? Everyone should know that. Natuzzi been in China more than 20 years, and we sit in our chairs. It's very comfortable. A lot of people say it's very nice. Thank you for everyone. Be honored to join this afternoon. I hope to learn some good ideas and also have a good afternoon with everyone.
Now, Mr. Alberto Pozzoli.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm a partner of a small agency that we take care of different Italian furniture brands. Slightly different from Natuzzi, less famous, but like just a niche. But because the material we use we consider to be very high, I'm here to talk about this today. Thank you.
So we have 3 very different stories, no? We have industrial design, we have the very famous furniture company, and we have a consultancy company for furniture and design. So I think it will be very interesting to to know more about what you do, especially for me, because I arrived here just 3 months ago, so I'm quite new for the Chinese market. So Flavia, what do you think is the main difference between your Chinese client and an Italian client? Do you see any specific characteristics that?
Yes, they are very different clients. Of course, all clients want the best for their company, but Chinese clients have their market in their mind, which means they have a huge market in their mind. And most of the time, they have a market that goes beyond their country. So they are looking for exports and opportunity to have a product that fits not just their own market, but also markets from all kinds of cultures. So when they approach us, their point of view is not just they want a new product, but they want to go beyond that, and they want to find something in us that provides them the information they need to come up with a very good product and a very successful product for their own business.
And how does it work? You have a team mix of foreigners and Chinese people?
Yes. Yeah. We have a mix of Chinese and Italian and non-Italian employees here and in Italy. Our studio in Italy has more than 60 people, 64 people. And we have a mixture of all kinds of capabilities in terms of engineering, industrial design, and brand. That gives a good insight of what our clients want usually.
So for each client, if I understand well, it's a very tailor-made process.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. We don't come up with the. Yes, exactly. We just don't take things out of the drawer for them. We tailor-made them from the very beginning. And
actually, one of the strengths of the Italian company is also the flexibility,
yes,
no?
Because most of the time, yes.
We usually try to, to adapt to the request of the client.
Yes. And many of our clients come back to us because of that. Some clients maybe choose finally to maybe work with someone else, but for some reason they come back to us, always. So that means our attitude is the right one.
Thank you for the moment. Yeah. Mrs. Wu,
You can call me Echo.
Echo.
Thank you.
It's easier.
It's easy for you.
Echo. How the pandemic changed the furniture world? I mean, now we are working from home. We are, there's a different concept regarding the way of living. It affected also the furniture world or not? Not yet.
Of course, I think the pandemic is changing every one of us, our lives, right? We just talked before the panel discussion, right? We can't travel. And I think that because people spend more time at home, right? And there's more concern about the environment. And people want to bring a sense of nature to your living space. And Natuzzi Italian come from South Italian, which was nature and beautiful landscape. That we think the earth is not just our hometown, also there's a lot of inspiration to us. That's why in Natuzzi we actually focus on the sustainable development, and also we strive to the product development, how to the utilization for the raw materials to in the friendly environment way and the renewable ways. Since last year and this year, we actually launched our new collection called the Circle of Harmony, which we invite a lot of creative designers come across many different industries. So they bring their insight of life from last year and this year, right? That's all changed our lives. So what's their insight for life, and also their love to people, to their product design. So actually, we know that there's a lot of people we have to work at home. That's a big change. So work at home is a new model to a lot of people's works way. So we provide a wide range of the micro-living home furnishings to the people's home office to make sure that comfortable and functionable to all of us. So I think this pandemic changing the people that think about the environment, also the sustainability for business too. I think that we have more emphasis on how to take our social responsibilities. I think that's a big change to all of us.
Thank you. And Alberto, you represent a very important high-end, I would say, Italian furniture company. So how you transmit to the Chinese client the fact that the quality cost a lot, actually, because I can imagine that the price is quite expensive. How you convince that it's worthwhile? Let's say this, yeah.
Not convincing, really. It's like discussing with them and try to show the material we are using. Like, for example, we work with Baxter. That is maybe the most famous around the company we work together. And they really, like, the philosophy is using only natural material, like from leather, specialize in leather, and they start working with natural leather. That is material that Chinese love, but at the same time, natural leather is very complicated to maintain. So it's hard to show, they love it, but at the same time, there is like this conflict of maintenance. So we do training, we help them to understand how to use it, how to use the leather, and how to also, the philosophy behind that is having like a natural material, and so it's not protected and have to be like take care in a different way from the leather that is most common on the market. So in this way, we just, let's say, show the beauty and transmit the philosophy of the brands to our clients.
And I imagine also a very important factor is the storytelling about what is behind the company, the story of the company, because we have a long
the thing is not only convincing. Of course, it's not just material, so it's the combination of material and design that I think Italy is famous for. So we transmit the philosophy of the material, at the same time we show the design behind. We try to bring this little part of Italy in China.
Thank you. Ecco, I have another question for you. One of the difficult things that I found when I arrived 3 months ago was to understand this huge media world and social media world in China, because it's very different from what we think in the Western countries. So I was wondering how you use the social media and this kind of channel to promote Natuzzi. Because, I mean, the way of communicating in China is completely different, no? If I don't make a mistake.
Yes, exactly. Actually, Natuzzi, that we have our WeChat, which everyone know that, right? It's very famous. It's very mature already. And earlier this year, we start in the Xiaohongshu, at the red. Yes, that's we're starting that. And also that actually just last month, we start out Douyin, TikTok, the account in China. Yes, so we start extend more media to connect with people, because one challenge is for us that I think Natuzzi is very famous. We have a long history, right? But in China, there's more young people. So how we connect with the young people, that's a challenge for a brand has a long history too, because social media is their life, right? They basically use that to search a brand, everything to share, hey, how other people use that. So that's another way how we communicate with them to introduce Natuzzi Italian. So we try different social media. That's a new challenge for our team too. So what's the content we want to give to them, how to present them. Yeah.
And also imagine, because of course it's not consumer goods, it's not a cosmetic, so people want to come to the showroom to try, furniture. So it's a different way also because of the products, no? Yeah.
Exactly that. I thinking that partially our social media is more showing the brand, also experience, right? And then the furniture, you have to come to store, you have to sit to feel it,
like
right?
Yes.
Yes. So that we have to want people to come to our store to try that. Of course, that KOL, KOC is so popular in China, so their opinions also very influenced too. So we also learn different ways how to do that. So we're still on our way.
Okay, thank you. And Flavia, let's talk about another important issue that regards everybody, that it's innovation. So what do you consider as innovation regarding your job, of course?
As a studio Volpi, we call ourselves innovation partners, meaning that we bring our clients new ideas and new opportunities for their products. Innovation as today is not just something new, something technological, but it's especially, I think something, hear me? Sorry, okay, right, thanks. Innovation is not just technology. It doesn't mean fill an appliance with technology for no reason, but it is bringing sustainability for it, bringing materials that can change that product into something different and something better. So for sure, it's not just a new function or a new way of using something, but it's also part of the mechanism and part of the core of that appliance, for example, for a domestic appliance. So what we do usually is we bring in our experience. Studio Volpi has more than 25-year experience. We bring in that experience and we share that with our clients, and we see which kind of knowledge can match their needs. See what this is going for a specific.
An ongoing process.
It's it's endless. Yeah. It's endless, actually. It can take to new materials, new opportunities for example, for what the product does when it gets broken, for example. Because today there is more customers, especially, they are more concerned of what happens with their products when their life is over, when the product does not work anymore. So what we want to bring in is also a knowledge of and a more something else that goes behind, okay, I buy a new product and I replace it. So we try to bring in some knowledge to it, and it works usually, especially with big clients. That's something they're interested in.
Alberto. Talking about innovation regards also your job and your company. So what is for you innovation in your job and sector?
It's partially is also like a research or material. So like we have this company, is a wallpaper company that we just start working with. And they do a lot of research on material. Like they came out with this not woven texture that is 100% linen, so it's totally natural, and is having a big success among Chinese, also worldwide, but especially for our market, that's China, because there is this feeling that is like being more natural, as Eko was saying before, that this search for natural material and natural feeling. So this wallpaper is giving really like a more soft touch in the room. At the same time, it's totally recyclable. It's coming from a natural material. And we found out is a big success right now. So we have a lot of requests and it's going very well. At the same time, they do other research. So like they have wallpaper for that can stay in the water, so they can do for shower, wet area. So it's like a small company, but they came out every year with something new and something very attractive from material point of view.
Also for outdoor spaces?
That's not yet.
Not
Even
yet.
they told me they are studying something. For the moment, it's only indoor, so swimming pool or shower, bathroom, or kitchen, also like the backdrop of a kitchen. So it's very interesting company to work with because they explore like this research on material. Yeah.
The impression that I have that the Chinese consumers is very trendy, very sophisticated. I mean, they like new things, new styles. So do you agree with this, my perception, or am I wrong?
Yeah, that's true. They like new stuff. They like new things. They like technology, also applied to material and to tradition as well. At the same time, I think China is very, very quick in pick up modern and pick up what's trend. So sometimes it's difficult for us to follow the market rather than Chinese to understand the product as well.
And ecco, this is the same question to you, and also I would add, it's also a very competitive market. So how can you compete with so many companies, Chinese, foreigners, everything?
Yes, that's true. So the Chinese consumer, as you mentioned about, just take Natuzzi Italy as example. The Chinese consumer and the Italian consumer probably have different preference to the products, right? So we can see in the last few years, with the national power and also the border vision, constantly change Chinese consumers' preference. You can see that from the Chinese furniture style, right? And which people prefer solid wood and natural colors and classic style and American style until now modern contemporary styles, right? So with last few years it just keep changing because the trend too. So that Italian consumer probably more prefer to simple design we see, light colors, right? White and gray, right? Prefer the material more high qualities, right? But Chinese consumer favor the modern contemporary designs that need to be the fashionable or exquisite designs that I think in the future that should be the more appeal to all of them that because the economy keep growing and the confidence grows too. So the how to say that? So the nice appearance designs will keep appeal all of them. So in China, I always think that seems like leading the trend, or they want more new things. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Flavia, 2 questions for you, not one. No, the first one is about new trends. According to you, we will see new trends in the coming year or something new? And
I'm sure it is like that. China, as I've seen China growing a lot in the past more than 10 years, and for sure it will be like that again. Chinese customers, as Echo said, they keep changing their taste. It's not like changing their taste, rather than following new trends, adapting new trends. It used to be I take a trend and I try to make it mine, but now it's I take a new trend and I adapt it to my taste, and that's what China. So probably there will be not a new trend coming up from outside adapted to used in the country just because it's outside, but more like a local trend that will probably affect other trends outside of China, and it will be like a mixture of new trends. And for sure, in all kinds of industries, there will be new trends coming, especially, as Alberto said, for materials, for something more related to sustainability, usability. People are more interested in having a better life, so they want to find something that at least promise them that they will find new opportunities for their life to get better in the future.
Thank you. Alberto, we were talking about the Salone del Mobile that in April, and someone told me that in terms of number of visitors, the Chinese people were the first one going to Milan, and also there was an edition. There were very few editions here in Shanghai. So, what do you think of this event? Was something special or here in Shanghai?
The one in Shanghai?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really for us. So we were participating as well. And in Milan, I think it was like Chinese visitor was number one. It used to be like, hopefully in the future as well. Also the one in Shanghai, it's very important to like bring some news to people that cannot go to Milan. So it's like much smaller compared to the Milan one, but it's still very important event for us.
Hope that next year will be possible.
Yes, yes, of course. Like for us, it's always. I mean, digital is important, but especially for the brands we work with that are very high end, see from real touching the quality and the product. It's fundamental. We hope we can do it again.
Social media not enough.
It's important, but not enough. Yeah.
And
on the point of view of architect, exactly. On the point of view of
I actually is one of our challenge, but also our key point of sales of promoting the brands, because we promoting high-end and quality products. So it's like we try to promote quality because it lasts longer, and it's also, I think, one way of promoting sustainability. So it's a product lasts 20 years, like a good sofa that can last 20 or 30 years even. It's better than changing the sofa every 2 years or 3 years. For us, is a good point of promoting our brands to the Chinese market.
That's a good question. That in China, in the last 2 generations too, right? Your grandma give you a chair, you want to keep it, give your, right? But now is the young generation that are changing their mind. I think it is good opportunity, also challenge for us. Also that depends on your life cycle too. When you graduate, you buy you rent apartment, right? You want to buy IKEA furniture, you use and throw away. But when you buy your own apartment, you want to decorate your own ways. And then when you buy a second apartment, I think that each brand all has their target consumers too, right? As you said, that we want to be ours is good quality and last longer, but also fine if you thinking you use, but that's all more related to in which your cycle or what you want to on that point. But China definitely is similar, like just like you mentioned, last 2 generations. But now this young generation, they change their mind. I think it's good things.
According to you, which we should focus on what? Creativity, innovation, quality, I don't know, design, whatever. Sustainability.
Yeah. So, so many things.
No, if you have to choose one or two, let's say two. It's easy. It's easy.
Yeah, for me, design and quality. It's a combination of both. So, as I said before, like our company can join those things together, and that's why we have success in China. So, it's a combination of design.
Okay. And for you, Echo, what do you
Only
think?
choose one or two? That's hard.
Two.
So many things describe the Italian,
Yeah.
but if speak from the Natuzzi, I think the Natuzzi is the harmony maker. So I think nature and harmony, that you already choose design, that's in that already. So for us, it's nature and harmony.
Okay. Flavia, same question?
Well, of course, design. We are a design studio. I could not say anything different. But other than that, I would say the fact that as Italians, we are professional. It's design or think sustainable, but we are professional at what we do. And I see that Chinese customers appreciate that because they recognize that we do things better than others because we have done it before. It's not something we have decided yesterday and started doing.
Actually,
Yes.
some people say details make the difference.
Probably, yes.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if we have other questions, maybe. Oh, yes, there's one question there.
Thank you very much. I have a question for Echo. Would you say that, on average, a Chinese consumer who is choosing a high-end, top quality furniture, the first thing they would think about is Italian furniture, Italy. So just to give you a perspective, I come from Moscow, Russia, and if you ask anybody, for example, if they want to decorate their new house, if they want to buy some top quality furniture, they would say Italy. Would you say it's the same for a Chinese consumer, or maybe they have some other preferences?
I would say yes, because since we have a lot of consumer all around China that feedback from a licensee or our director run stores too, that they talk about Italian. There's so many words can describe Italian, right? Design, creativity too, and the quality definitely is reliable. I think that's one of also we talk about professional, right? You have to have good quality details. Yes, I agree.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Faccio brevi questioni. Sono Kai, laureato di Politecnico di Milano. I have a question. Do you think what challenges and opportunities in the period of coronavirus? Because a lot of mostra e esposizioni in this difficult period have broken. What do you think about this situation and opportunity? Thank you.
Grazie.
Yes, I mean, I start. For us, it's a bit complicated without exhibition and fair. So I just came back to China, so it was very hard for me to coming back. So this situation is not good at all. But I think there is a lot of interest, as Eiko was saying before. A furniture market for like a product of quality to use in your home is increasing. So I think it's worldwide because also in Italy, I know furniture is selling a lot right now, and I see the same in China. So it's both a challenge, but it is also like an opportunity maybe.
Oh yes, of course I agree that there's a huge more potential for Natuzzi Italian for sure. Also for design and the home furnishing design, right? I think the pandemic changed people's thinking too, really thinking about our life, our work, right? And then there's a lot of people say that actually we decorate a villa or house, but sorry, but I never enjoy it. But during the pandemic, I think about, is this good for me? And I want more comfortable, right? So I think that changed people's thinking too. We want something that to make ourselves more comfortable and then reliable. I agree. Yeah.
Something that make you feel better, actually, no?
Yes, if you see the luxury product, actually the demands in China the most too, right? Read a report that because young people also have a reason, I want to please myself. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I have a question for Flavia, because I know that Studio Volpi, I mean, in Italy, in Europe, here in China, you work with a lot of different brands in different categories. And since we're talking about innovation, I'm wondering if there's any specific product category that it's mostly driving innovation. So for example, if the Chinese market is especially pushing more of these categories, so that kind of, you know, if it's, I don't know, coffee machines or any other kitchen appliances that you find yourself working more often than others, especially in this period?
Probably domestic appliances, definitely one of, for the same reasons they talked about. They're selling more, so they want to come out with more products. Sometimes it's not necessarily an innovation, sometimes it's just a characteristic that makes it different from the rest of the market. But a bigger player, of course, they're also looking for innovation. So for sure, that's coffee machines, definitely a big lead. We see many clients that were not interested in coffee machines before, and they are now, because apparently people are more interested in making their own coffee at home than have it delivered or have it going somewhere and buy it. It's a trend. Doesn't necessarily mean it will last, but probably the numbers and the statistics show that there is even more interest in this, and it will probably lead to something different. China is an ever-evolving country. The life of a product in China is much shorter. The shelf life of a product in China is much shorter than everywhere in the world. And this means that there is more space for changing, and sometimes changing means innovation. This is, I think, something. And I've seen many improvements in many fields over years, so I guess something that, let's say, it's worth following and worth checking. Yeah.
If I may ask another question, no, just because I'm very curious. I mean, I follow a lot what Studio Volpi does, and I'm very interested in that. And I was wondering, because on Friday we had another panel discussion more related to architecture, interior design, and they were mentioning a lot the so-called China speed. So I was wondering if you also feel this China speed within the innovation process.
Yeah, I think everybody does. Even us living here, probably we see it every day. Yes, the Chinese clients, they lead in terms of requests for new projects. Even the time frame when they want to make things happen, it's shorter everywhere. This, as its pros and cons, of course, it doesn't always mean are done in the right way, but most of the time it is helpful in terms of where they bring the best out of you sometimes. So that's I think it's very interesting. But definitely China speed is, I mean, we see it every day probably.
You can feel it.
We can feel it. We can feel it. I mean, just from our phones and the apps we use, I don't think there is anywhere else in the world where we can reach that degree of digitalization, for example. So definitely, yes. And the market is just the same. And we do B2B mostly, and as the same speed as the B2C market. So I guess it's everywhere.
Thank you.
So we had a lot of questions, a lot of interest. I don't know if there is anyone else that wants. Yes?
Good afternoon. I would like to ask mainly to Ms. Eco. With all the viral situation that seems like it's not going to go away very soon. And the Metaverse, which is basically the Matrix, and now is going to be applied little by little. Right now it seems like a game, very raw, but it's going to grow, it's going to develop. And for what we realize, the Chinese are the ones who implement technology from the one day to the next. They don't discuss about the good old days, they just jump into it. So, especially as a local, I ask you, how do you see this impacting the furniture industry or the design industry? Yeah.
We hope the virus will come soon first. Well, anyway, so yeah, I think that the Chinese consumer, just like you mentioned about the speed, the demand is very strong. But we know that Italian, even for Natuzzi, we have a long lead time, right? And also for decision make too, I think sometimes even they know that good quality take time to make too, right? But they will see, oh, I want it now. So for business that we have also prepared that we see if something really good, how we prepare that we can let those consumers happy too, right? So and on two ways, I thinking that there's some consumer can accept that, because let's take example seated chair. So I just want this one exactly same material, right? It's okay. But if you want to change the leather, different colors, that's take time too. So the consumer needed to be convinced. So that's take two ways. So if you don't want to make, sorry, you need to have exactly one. Maybe I can ship you right away. So it's take time for us to learn too how to catch up this speed, but at the same time how to balance that good quality, good stuff takes time to make. So I don't know how this is explained. It's a struggle for us too. So we're learning, I think, for all of us to how to take that challenge and opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Any other question? Yes.
Exercises it today.
Thank you. I'm very interested in this topic about innovation. So my question is about maybe the policy change in China. Nowadays, I think that due to the Chinese government has influenced a lot of policies related to the human resources. Like, for example, just like nowadays, and because the childbirth rate is coming to the lowest point in the history, so the government are encouraging a lot of policies to both the childbirth, for example, and I think this policy change has made a lot of influence to a lot in industry. For example, like the education and the training industry, and also then there are some influence to some other industries. My question is about how would you like to think about the policy change in population policy, and what's your maybe how would you like to adapt to that kind of changes in the future, like in China, maybe related to the population policy?
Car seats. That's a sign. That's a good sign. Many, actually, many clients in China in baby care products, and they increase every year. So apparently, what you're talking about, yes, yeah, well, coffee machine. I think that's related, but for baby care products, especially, used to be products for export. Now they are domestic market. And we are good at that.
Well, we see the opportunity that the government do these changes. They want to people spending more, because probably people that focus more on education, right? So that education industry have to change. And then that you want to have more baby, then but people thinking that we buy apartment to high cost. So that we see the government probably leading the people. You need to relax. Don't spend so much time on education, right? And then you need a baby. China need more young people, so you need spending more. So I think furniture industry should be one of the benefit industry too. I think it's a good opportunity for us.
Okay, this is maybe for one side that governments are encouraging young couple to have much more children, but for another side, for the young generation, like maybe the youngs who are very stressed to their daily work, but they don't want to get married and they don't want to have children. So another problem is that maybe in the future, a lot of young people, they don't have any children. Maybe they're a small family, so maybe they don't have such kind of expense on house furniture. So how would you like to adapt to such kind of changes?
As you said, the people don't want to, that's their choice. I think the government policy, they want to lead in that industry, but also that depends on the market, the individual too. I think we should support that. China do need a younger, do need more people. I think that's the part we want to. And then, but on the way, how that happen, no one can make a predictable now.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more question?
Any more questions? If not, I would like to conclude this very interesting panel saying something that I like a lot. At the end, design should make people happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.